What is going on, boys and girls? We had a pretty much break-even day. On the books, we lost $87. So, I mean, I essentially call it a red day. I was down much more, didn't need to be down much more, and just glad that we were able to make it out unscathed. We're going to walk through these trades right now. I took a total of, I want to say 8, but I stacked in a lot of trades. So it was like a total of like 3 that I actually ended up, getting in. One thing that I noticed when I plugged it into TradeZilla was I took L's bigger than I took my W's. So like risk to reward, risk management was not terrible. I didn't lose too much today. Obviously it was, like I said, almost a break-even day, but it was just flip-flopped. It was like what I lost is what I needed to make. That would have been nice, you know what I'm saying, for the P&L. Towards the end, and you'll see what I'm talking about, I just got really lazy. Got really lazy mentally. Was forcing trades and whatnot. Just didn't really. I was just bored. It was just very apparent. I was like, Julian, you know that that's not a trade you're supposed to be in. We were sitting in relative highs, relative lows. I mean, it was clearly a range. I even made that comment to myself because I remember, and I obviously write it on, Top Step as well when I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, what was I thinking about? And I wasn't. I lucked up and still was able to make money because I was down more than my last 2 contracts I stacked or 3 contracts I stacked in order to make my money back essentially and only be down 87. So if that gives you any kind of idea of what happened, so we're going to dive in it without further ado. The first trade was $84.70 on a short. It was at 846, 848. Obviously I was looking at London highs, London lows, taking a peek at that, had that already like marked off. So obviously I was drawing out my, intraday supply and demand levels, and we went ahead and took a sell. We took 7 ticks. So, just over, we took $1.75. It's not the worst thing, $84. I want to say I stacked in this trade, I believe. Let me see. I did. Didn't get a whole lot. I got $22 off that, extra added contract, but I ended up making, $100 some bucks right off the bat, like 101 or 102, right out the gate. So I'm gonna show you guys this trade real quick. So as you can see, boom, right there. And then you guys see, obviously it's $84 right there. And then I'm gonna go to the next one, and then boom. And then you're gonna see this as added contract. So we'll just run through these real quick so you guys can get your eyeballs on them. Way too big of a loss, 227. Glad it was under the 250, but here's what I said. I said you were under the assumption it would break lows. Let me just show you guys the trade as I read the notes so you guys aren't like taking your eyes off of what you're looking at. So this is, you guys can see execution here. This was a short, so this is when I got in. This is when I exited. I was waiting for the candle to close. Let me just read this to you. You were under the assumption it would break lows since it rebounded the first time here. And I was trying to let the candle close fully on 1 minute and let it reject, but nothing wrong with preserving capital and waiting for the setup. Both losses today were much too big while the runners were too small. Fix this immediately to see consistent profitability. Don't fall victim of being bored of the stuff that gets you paid and is a tested methodology. Okay, on to the next one. Let me back up some. This will be a super quick video, guys, too. $72 here. This was another short. I said the candle needs to close. I would have liked to see it come all the way underneath here where I ended up selling. I got to be better about that. I ended up selling like kind of mid-body. Got to, again, these are the details that, that keep me in the game, that make sure that I'm seeing follow-through moves. I also have to keep in mind that a CPI play today, a lot of this stuff, is kind of like you can go ahead and wipe your hands with it because tomorrow we've got another big news catalyst. So it's just, things are moving not because I need to know the rhyme or reason as to why. Sometimes it's just really out of whack. So a lot of people just stand on the sideline on a CPI, a PPI, FOMC day, or whatever. There's a lot of volatility, but you have to be careful. Here's what I put. I said the candle needs to close underneath. You were able to scalp. I said, but look at how it played out. Lucky for you. This is what I mean. Right here, how it played out. So lucky for you. You got out early enough. This continued to move to the upside. Had it, where What did I say? Oh yeah, had it followed through. Oh, what did I say? Have to wait. I'm sorry. The W got cut off here. Have to wait for the follow through. If I can spell, there we go. Have to wait for the follow through. Don't just get in. I said be okay with the basics, not forceful trades. This is about functioning with little to no stress, not worried about it ripping against you. So just, talking to myself as well, knowing that I'm better than that. I stacked onto this. So this is an added contract onto that particular one. So, nothing to review there. This, again, 140 loss. Too big of a loss. Glad it's under 250. So I said that, of course. Here's what I said. You've got caught in range. Look at this. Relative lows, relative highs. Very simple. You can see clear as day this is a consolidation range. It shouldn't be anywhere near this. And you got caught in the range. You need to cut the loser shorter when you feel it running away from you. Still happy this didn't hit full 250 loss. So you were thinking just, let's move on, which is excellent. I said keep your head on a swivel. Don't assume the market. Don't assume anything in the market. Let it speak to you. So 140, too big of a loss, but it is what it is. Got in on a short. Look at this. Same range, guys. Win or loss, this became poor trades because of boredom. You want to make losses back, and you could have easily lost another 250 because you couldn't help yourself. This must be eliminated ASAP. You've got to focus. Focus on your playbook and that alone. Don't try to see random things. Look at this. I mean, I got lucky, and because I saw this box right here, this intraday supply or demand, that I was like, okay, it's going to come down and touch this. But notice this is at 1534. So you're talking about this is at 330, or 230. I'm sorry. No, 330. This is at 330, 334, and it's like you see you're in a range. What are you doing in this? No reason to be in this. I ended up stacking onto this. There's an added contract there for $22. And those were the two. I'm sorry, because there was two added. So there was a 140 loss, right, in that same range. Then came back and made 34 there on the first one, and then made 22 on that one right there. And that was the end of today's, trading day. So let me zoom this out. Sorry, guys. So, for me, it's just always continuously learning, always getting better each and every day. Being able to put, these poor trades behind me. They weren't many. Luckily, I was able to, come out for the most part unscathed. $87 loss, but right now the XFA is at $266.40 profit. I actually didn't know this until I started trading, that I guess until you reach a certain threshold, I want to say it's like $1,000 in there. I want to say you get to go 3 contracts in. I try to add when I am correct, as I've showed you guys before, when I see follow through, when I see momentum. And for whatever reason, it was like order not filled. And I was like, what? And then I realized that there's actually a certain amount, and talked to one of my boys about it. And he said, yeah, you have to, get it to a certain level, and then it will let you do 5 contracts again and 3 contracts. First it's 3 and then it's 5. So at the end of the day, Michael Paddock and Top Step are doing a great job, and they're trying to help you stay profitable. Not just get profitable, or I shouldn't say profitable, get funded, and then just be like, okay, blow it the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm holding onto accounts a whole lot better, which I'm super proud of myself for. You got to celebrate the wins along the way, guys. I'm telling you right now, I used to legitimately just smoke these things in a day. I really did. And I hope that I'm not like going to take 2 steps back towards that direction in any, if I turn around and reinvest once I get a payout, a nice payout, and I buy a 150 account for $149 or whatever, and then I try to pass that one, and so on and so forth. I hope I'm not just chucking trades and being stupid. I do see that I can scale this. I do see that I have the skill to do this. There's no reason that I'm proving to myself that my strategy works, but I can't take dumb trades. Today, in the afternoon, I wanted more. I haven't really built my balance. It's like, that's not a reason. That's not a good enough reason. So don't get into dumb trades. That's all I really have to say today. Other than that, it went well. We just have to clean up those little nuanced things. Let's dive into the word real quick, and then we'll close it out. The madmen and the pigs. They landed in the country of the gardeners and were Gadarenes. I'm sorry. Gardeners. Wow. They landed in the country of the Gadarenes and were met by two madmen, victims of demons coming out of the cemetery. The men had terrorized the region for so long that no one considered it safe to walk down the stretch of the road anymore. Seeing Jesus, the madmen screamed out, "What business do you have giving us a hard time? You're the Son of God. You weren't supposed to show up here yet." Off in the distance, a herd of pigs was browsing and rooting. The evil spirit begged Jesus, "If you kick us out of these men, let us live in the pigs." Jesus said, "Go ahead, but get out of here." Crazed, the pigs stampeded over a cliff in the sea and drowned. Scared to death, the swine herds bolted. They told everyone back in the town what had happened to the madmen and the pigs. Those who heard about it were angry about the drowning pigs. A mob formed and demanded that Jesus get out and not come back. Okay, so that is it for today. We are going to close it out here. The next one is Who Needs a Doctor? We are in chapter 9, verses 1 through 13. Again, still in Matthew. So say it with me if you know it. You are uniquely different. God took his time on you. You are one of one. If nobody told you today, I love you so much. Peace.